best I got as far as analogies. If you can come up with a better one, I would very much like that. Okay? All right? Is if let's say I was a Roman soldier, hoplite or something, and I have a shield, what's the main requirement of that shield?
It don't break easy.
It doesn't break.
Even more important than that.
It doesn't bend.
Right.
Way to hold it.
Protects you.
You have to hold it correct
Even more important than that.
close to your body.
No, that's technique of using a shield.
What's the question?
What's the most important attribute of a shield?
The curvature.
Nope.
A frame? If it's unbreakable.
Nope.
What? That's not a shield is.
That's right. It must be expendable.
Oh.
If I stab that shield and you die, that's the worst fucking shield ever, right?
Yes.
Alright. So if you're using your legs as a shield and I break your leg,
It was a terrible shield.
it was a terrible shield. It's the best analogy I have right now. So, how do we physically do that? He has positioned himself to put his legs between me and what he thinks my goals are. Alright? So if I try to run around them, he'll try to keep repositioning his legs between me and him. Alright? Now we're dealing with an obscure posture, but it's something we have to talk about. This is not a fighting posture, because if I got into a fight with him here, I would kick him right in the fucking mouth. And we would call it, I would kick him right in the gosh darn mouth and watch his teeth split everywhere. Okay? But because in jiu-jitsu, and there's value on both sides of this for fighting, because you will deal with downed opponents. So when I come in here, I put a frame down by his shin, all right, and I start to hook his leg. Even if he tries to back out of this, all right, it's going to be extremely hard to stop me from doing that, okay? Because what's he using to back out of there?
His hands.
Pushing away.
Oh,
That's
his
right.
pushing.
His legs, right? So he uses his hands to lighten the load, and then he pushes his legs away with his legs. So here I am in a knee hook, all right? That's what we decided to call it. All right, what makes this work is I'm putting pressure on the hip. I'm putting my body weight over it because I don't want it to be able to come to the other side of my body here. All right, I'll have to do some things different. But when I get to this position, it's sustainable. Now passing is still a major option here. But when would I take that option?
If he straightens his leg out.
Depends on what he
If he
gives you.
straightens his legs out, would be an absolute great time. If he straightens his leg out here, all right, arm versus leg, I'm going to lose that. Okay, great. I just made this the best idea he's got to lay flat. Second, if he shrimps here, and we all love shrimping,
He's
a head.
turned it.
He's brought his head to me. What makes this shrimp so? What makes it a failure here?
He's still attached to you.
He's still attached to me. Okay, so shrimping is gone. You understand? Because now he brings his head to me like he's supposed to, allowing me to make a connection to move on. That would be a time that I actually pass. Now what about if I make a connection here, all right, and he doesn't fall for either one of those, and yes, he lines his body up straight here. What would be the most logical option here? Attacking the leg, okay? Doing anything else doesn't make sense. All right, yes.
What if they try and invert?
We're gonna go over that right next, okay? So, in fact, you're gonna like it when they do that from now on. But when I come in here, all right, and he moves away from me, all right, he's straightening out his spine. He realizes that shrimping was a bad idea, and he's just gonna try to stop me from passing. A lot of times they get their hands involved, okay? Yeah, see that? Now, could I athletically make my way around this?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. All right. It's not the most efficient way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the space that I've already gathered up here, all right, and I'm going to attach myself to his leg. Okay? Make sense? He's now on the defensive. I have the opportunity here to win this fight. You understand? In a dramatic fashion. Where does passing fit into that? If victory is the ultimate goal, where does passing fit into that? It does, somewhere. I just described it. Yeah, as an option. Something that he must contend for. Something he must measure and decide whether or not it's worth preventing. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So if he straightens his leg out, is he preventing passing?
No.
No. In fact, he's inviting it. All right? But if he doesn't straighten his leg out and he's just worried about me passing, it makes more sense for me to destroy the very thing he's using to defend himself. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's the theme of the week. All right? Jiu-jitsu's core element is that we use guard. What is guard? When I say the word guard, I'm talking about legs. They use their legs. They use their legs to. They use their legs to defend themselves. I'm proposing that we break the things that they're using to defend themselves. Make sense? So what I want you to do is attack with the knee hook. All right? Their body goes straight and you drop into a leg position.
Yeah.
All right? And then we're going to talk about what happens when they invert.
Can I just see it?
Of course, of course. So, in fact, we will talk about 2 ways to actually get a knee. When I'm dealing with butterfly guards, but what I'm going to show you also is, let's say I did pass. He straightened his leg out, and what's jiu-jitsu propose here?
Frames.
Right. So put your frames in.
He's giving the leg.
Yes. Okay. I'm not going to let you reguard. Why would I do that? Okay. Why would I allow that? You understand?
That sounds terrible.
What?
Giving people more bad things
More bad things.
against it. Never mind. Keep
Okay. So you can do it from side control if you want, or you can do it from someone with butterfly. A guy who's been using butterfly guard since white belt, I'll tell you, I'll do everything I can to stop you from getting that knee hook. All right. So this would be the antithesis to somebody trying to put butterfly guard. All right. All right. Let's go.
Go back and forth. You go first. Reaction.
You get that right.
Courtney, I love black. I've never seen that before. So got it.
You're a weird.
Bring that in between, yes, and now you're in 50-50. Now you pushed it in a double outside.
Push my knee down.
So what he did there is he started messing with the leg that he knew you wanted to come over. Use the other leg.
Jump the hip, and that's perfect, yeah. And then you can even walk your hips around to like a north-south position, but why would I want that much?
It makes it hard for them to bring their legs back into it.
Yeah, but just drop your hip and like keeping that knee away like that is enough to make shit real hard.
It's either 411.
I will be your training.
So Kurt, it's either 411 or
Topside ashi or 50-50. There's 3 positions on the outside, right? Where are you?
Yes.
Are you on the outside or inside?
what's that?
So it can be 3 different positions. That's it.
The same reaction. Try.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, so what I do is this arm comes under here. Yep. And then you're gonna take this hand out. And you're gonna like hug my.
Or jump.
Now, just have them drop into it.
Okay, never mind. So
This is really advanced. Hey, AC, you've got pigeon. Good. Is it cooling? There you go. Now you got to come train with me.
Probably won't do that until Monday.
You're just buying time because you don't want to have to do stuff. Get your ass in there.
Might do something.
Well, good. I'm glad he finally did it. I think it was the AC guy. That was quick too. They were here and they were done.
When they do the whole unit, all it is putting the new unit
That's
on and
it.
connecting it.
Yeah, all the wires and everything are run.
When you sit down, you're talking
Feels good.
Good. It's fucking better. It's brand new.
Yeah. Now,
Computer 411.
more street.
Yeah, he called me, he was like, we were there Friday. I was like, that lies. I said, I unlocked it, like, whenever he had me.
I don't even think they needed to have it unlocked. They could have swapped the unit
They
out.
were here though when I got here.
Yeah, so I like to go and although the toddler that's what he calls it, but get the code. It really pops you up, you can lock it.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to teach you this stuff until later on.
Sorry. He was asking.
I don't care teaching this stuff. I'm not well liked within the jiu-jitsu community because of the taboos, but it's better for you if I do this.
Well, I'd rather go home at the midnight. I lied.
We are on
Yeah.
I met someone today who
That's why we
trained
tap.
at Alan Belcher's at the same time.
Yeah.
He says he likes you, but you're weird as shit.
He's not
Yeah, I
wrong.
was like, you're right.
No, look, a lot
He
of the
called you
guys.
a hippie. I was like, I don't know if hippie is the right word for it.
Actually, you know what's funny? When I worked for Blackwater, they called me the war hippie.
That's how you get kidnapped. Now they would bring you back, but still have to get kidnapped.
Yeah, look, they,
Yeah, he does hikes. That really makes up comfortable.
that was the answer.
Yes, sir.
Straighten that leg out. Watch your head.
That's why you just sit right into it, bring up the inside. Yeah, that's okay. No, just even getting there.
Everyone says that. It's never been that way for me though. But everybody says, I know that everybody says that.
legs. For everything else, it's the day after.
Is it? For me, legs continue into the next day, but I get sore pretty quickly. No, I'm telling you, 99% of people say it's like 2 days later, that's when it's real bad. And I'm like, yeah, bro, yeah. I'm not weird. Hey, we got a symbol now. Yeah.
No, what?
What is it?
It's mine. I tried to put it on my YouTube channel, the thanks of it. It's cool.
Oh, the
Got a logo?
avatar.
Yeah. Huh?
You got a logo?
Yeah, we got a logo.
That was definitely
Really
me.
cool.
My face? That's not gonna be a cell phone.
No.
Like some of that one that he made with like.
Yeah, he's talking about that.
That was so out of nowhere. So like I was just sitting there.
Alright guys, this is pretty easy, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, it's not like I haven't taught this before. Knee hooks are something that you should all be using if you want this to be actually martial. Alright, so one of the most common things that happens, especially in jiu-jitsu guys, like back in the day, they would use their legs to flip them over. Let's say I was passing here and he would bring that leg up and over and then I'd be like, oh man, and then I'd have to come around this side because my goal was to pass. Okay? My goal is not to pass. Alright, so when I get into this position and that leg comes up and over, I want you guys to, see how I'm turning his hips as I'm doing this?
Yes,
I want to shoot my left leg to the other side here. Okay, and when I do that, I'm going to bring my right leg over. Alright, so I bring it up and over. Make sense? Alright, what's this called?
The Reaper.
The Widowmaker.
I'm sorry. That was
The Widowmaker.
the Widowmaker.
Backside 50-50 is the real name. I call it the Widowmaker because
Yeah, I'm trying to get around points.
it sounds cool. Alright, so again, what he's doing when he brings that leg over, yes, it blocks my forward progress, but he's also turning his own hips. Okay? So when I do that, hand, no hand, I'm going to turn his hips into. That's the end of the fight, is what that is. Okay? Need to see it again?
I wouldn't.
No, sorry.
I don't see
What?
it. That's
Just
fine.
one more time.
Can you angle it better for the video?
Here, give me that.
Give me that
Give me that camera.
Give me that camera. Give me the schmucky
Yeah.
camera.
Him and-
Incorrect. Yeah.
Alright, so I make my hook, alright, and he does what a lot of guys would do, and that's bring that over, okay? You see how I'm using my movement to help him turn his hips here?
Right.
I'm shooting my left leg, if I leave my left leg here, it's gonna be a crappy backside 50-50. Here's the good news, I'm just falling down, alright? Can you fall down and win fights? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Why is the guy turning? Why is he doing that?
Because let's say I'm passing Bob, Fred, whatever. I'm like, all right, I've been working my passes lately, and I have. All right, I've played these games where I go, boom, and I start coming in, and I get underneath, and he brings that leg over. Now I've got to come around the other side to try to pass him. Okay, but what he wanted to have happen here is that he comes in here, and now he turns the angle so that he can bring his legs back into play. Okay. Used to be much more common than it is now. All right? If you've done jiu-jitsu a bunch, you run into this a bunch. So if I come in here and he inverts instead of playing the pass no pass game, which was the point of the beginning speech, this is it. Do I need points here?
No, sir. Defeat is absolute.
Defeat is absolute.
We have that on. So when he kicked his left leg over, you slid your left leg through. Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
This is going to be a very common reaction to knee hook. It should also be a common way you get taps. All right, because it is a flawed philosophy to bring that leg up. There's one based in the philosophy I described earlier, and if we acknowledge that and adapt, then we will be able to capitalize on that flawed policy. Does that make sense? I'm teaching you to be ninja, not samurai.
So objectively.
You understand? We kill by any means necessary. Yes?
So objectively, whichever leg he kicks over, you're gonna do that slide through the same way.
Let me show you again. All right, so here I am in the knee hook. All right, I have this leg, the one that's toward the inside here, and I have this one that's on this side. I've got to slide this in, because if I don't, if I keep that leg right where it is, and I bring him over here, you see where my knee ends up? In this crappy spot. I need my leg here, because that's what actually lets me go into backside 50-50. Is that YouTube?
No, that was my mom.
My, the song.
Oh, no.
You would on, I think, watching it on your side would help.
Okay.
That's the question.
So here we go. Boom. He brings the leg up and over. This is to prevent me passing.
Your right leg.
My right leg comes under so that this leg can come up top. Keeping a bend on this, because if he tries to run from me here, I connect, I keep everything tight, I try to lick my knuckles, all right? I bring the toes toward his butt, and then I bring his heel to the ground and bridge into the side of the knee. You understand? Yes. The damage that does to the knee is pretty extensive, all right? Fight in. All right?
Hyperextension.
It is. It's a combination of hyperextension and rotation. Let's do it.